Hi everyone, just popping in to see if anyone's about. Maybe not on a Friday of the bank holiday, but just thought I'd come in and do an impromptu little demonstration on a little simple flower for you. So I'm just going to hold on and see if there is anyone that pops on. If not, this is going to be saved into the group. It's been a while since I've been on and I do apologise. Life just gets busy, doesn't it? So I've just got some yellow coloured paste in my hand. So I've got yellow and green, and I'm going to show you how to do a little wildflower called a cowslip. It's very, very similar to a primrose, but it has an elongated calyx to it, and it's on a branch, if you like. There's lots on a branch, and they look really pretty. And I was doing it in a class recently on spring flowers, so I thought that's a nice simple one to do, and most people have a primrose cutter. So just hanging on. It doesn't look like, I can't see any comments or anybody that's on, but that's absolutely fine. Thought I might be on my own. Coming from a beautiful sunny afternoon here in the UK at the moment. So I am just going to tip you down. If you are on, if there is anyone watching, if you say hi. Oh, I have got someone. Pauline, how are you? I hope you're well. I hope it's sunny where you are. This is just an impromptu, no one really knew, and I didn't know if I'd have time, only because I've just been to the dentist and I wasn't quite sure whether my mouth would be up to it or not. But yeah, just come on to show you how to make a cowslip. So it's like a bunch, a bit like a primrose. So what I'll do is I'll get started, I'll save it into the group, so it doesn't matter if there aren't that many people on. You can watch it back. So just going to tip you down. I've got just an ordinary primrose cutter. It can be a metal one or a plastic one, really doesn't matter. They normally come quite small, so that's the one I'm using. I've got some 26 gauge green wire. I've got yellow and green paste, and it's very simple. So I'm just going to take a small piece, pop it into the hole on my board and squash it in there so you get a little bit of a back to it. Roll over until you can see the little lump there. Just make a little mark to see where the middle is. Place your cutter just over the top. Pull that paste away. Got mine. I knew I'd forget something. See if I can get it off with that. Should have my palette knife. I knew I'd forget something. No. Hold on. Let me get my palette knife. Best laid plans. Okay, so get that out of there. And we're going to want the backing of that to be a little bit longer. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring it down slightly before I put the wire in. Hooked wire. I think there's someone else on. Is that Alma? Welcome. Pull that through until you've just lost the hook just underneath the surface. Try and get that down. It's got a longish back to it, like that, okay, because you will be seeing that bit. And then onto your pad with a hole and a little bit of corn flour, and then just give it a little ball tool just to soften those petals. Just give it a little bit of movement so it's not too thin. You're not trying to change too much of the size, but just thinning that. If you pull it in towards the middle, it will naturally cup the flower. and they can be as cupped or open as you like. So that's the flower all done, just like a primrose. Put that to one side to dry for a minute. And so you want a few of them. They normally come in bunches, like pick an odd number, 7, 9, something like that. And then the backing of that, the calyx of it, is made by hand, and it's quite thick and chunky. It's like a tube. So get a small piece of green, well kneaded, and roll into a cone shape, like that. Give a little flat bit to the top, and pop in your, if you've got one of these tools called PME 8 tools, and one end has got 5 lines on it and the other end's got 6. If you put the 5 in, and all that's for, oh, a bit deeper, all that's for is to give you lines to actually cut. So this is the slightly easier way of doing it, so that you've got them even. Sharp pair of scissors, and if you just cut on those lines, hopefully it means that they're all the same size. So you've got 5. And then just open it up a little bit so you can see. So it's a bit like a filler flower. That's how you'd make a filler flower, but it's quite sort of thick. And what we want to do is we want to make them into points. So you're just going to cut them in half, basically, into a point on each one. So it's going to be a bit like a star shape, but we want the backing of it to be quite long, because the back is like a tube. So cut so that there's a point to each one, sort of thicker, not too thin. And then you can thin those with your fingers, or if you struggle to get your fingers in, then you've got lovely long nails, you could always pop it into here, and you could soften that if you wanted to, if it was quite thick. So you could do it that way, or with your fingers on each one, just to make it thinner. And they need to be upright rather than out. So we've got a tube like that at the moment. And then what we need to do, we need to make a little more of a hole in the middle so that the points come upwards. So anything like a paintbrush handle or anything with a point on the end, just make a little hole so that the backing will go through better. Like that is what we've got at the moment. And then you're going to thread that up the back of the primrose so that it stops there. So you can see the back of the primrose, and then it goes into the like a calyx. And then bring it down and make sure it's attached to the wire. I've come down a little bit further than I wanted to, so I'm just going to take that bottom bit off and do that again. So it's attached to the wire. You can glue as well if it's not attaching to the back, like that. And then it has little ridges. So obviously you can either make just a line with your palette knife, like that, down each cut, or you can go back in with little pliers and just come along where each, hopefully you can see that, where each point, the middle of the points is what we're doing, coming along. And that just gives a little bit more texture to the back. Hopefully you can see that. Okay, so it's just got little bit more definition to the back of it. Okay. And then this particular one that I saw has a little red centre to it. So I've got some pale red, a little bit of either alcohol, vodka gin, or this is Rejuvenator Spirit. Thin brush makes a paint. And then you just want a little touch. We don't want it too dark. And you're just going to almost do a star shape in the middle. In fact, that's the damp one. Let me work on a dry one. That would be better. So it's a star shape into each of the petals, but delicate painting, not too dark, otherwise it looks a bit bright. Like that. Okay, just got a nice little red tinge, a red star shape in the middle. If like this one, it's quite pale and you've done quite a pale yellow to start with, you can always dust it a little bit more. I've got a brighter colour here. It's very bright, Mimosa, which is really bright. And if you just come across on the outer edge, it will brighten up the yellow a little bit. Just like that. Makes it a little bit brighter. Okay. You can always do a little bit of green if you want to on the back, if your green isn't as dark. And then all you do is you grab a bunch of them, tip them out like that, and then attach into a bunch. And that's all there is to it. Looks really nice, doesn't it? It does have the primrose leaf. Let me just turn this up a minute. It has the normal primrose leaf, and I used it as part of a spring floral theme on a log. So this is what we made on logs. This was one of the classes that I did. It's beautiful, isn't it? So you'll see the cowslip is here with the leaves, and the leaves come at the bottom. So where you've got the, let's just put that one down, where you've got the stem, the primrose leaves would come lower down. Okay, so they would be in bunches, not singularly. So that is what we did in one of our classes, with lots of beautiful spring flowers. Something quite unusual. We had two logs tied together, and they're just in between with a daisy and some beautiful, look, forget-me-nots, just really pretty flowers all in there. So what I can do next time is maybe pick another one of these flowers to do. But that's how it would look, really nice, just on its own, but also as part of a yellow flower that you might need within a spray. So there we are, cowslip. If you've got any questions, even when you've watched it, if you've not watched it live and you've got questions, just pop them into the group and I'll happily answer them for you. Before you go, just wanted to tell you about the subscription box. It's still going, Sugar Flower subscription box. The latest flower that we did was the lotus flower. So this is one that on a little cake that I did, and beautiful. So they got everything they needed to make that one. And the next one is due out very soon. So May is the next one coming up. And I've got a few cutters that are in the sale. So I'll pop that in. I don't think I've done it already. I'll pop that in I've got a few that are reduced, so if you need any of the cutters from previous boxes, I do have some spare. But that's just a little impromptu demonstration to show you how to make the cowslip. So if you have a go, don't forget, pop it into the group. And thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And I'll be back again soon with another flower. If you've got any suggestions, again, please pop them in and I'll see what I can do. Okay, bye for now.